Hello everyone, Fatty from Pack-a-Punch Traders here. Going to do a quick video again going over the top plays for tomorrow, November 1st. So let's just dive into this here. We got HTCR, multi-day bounce, recent spiker that took off, and as we can see here, having a hard time pushing lower. Got down to 1.4. Today's low was 155, so decent little uptrend here. If it can keep holding the mid ones here and demand starts picking up, we can really make this solid base here in the mid ones. And from there, we're going to ideally go 30% from today's close if tomorrow is the bounce day. And 30% is the average spike this play offers from the previous close. So who knows, maybe this thing gets back and breaks even higher, but that's not what I'm looking for. Just looking for the reversal of shorts locking in their profits after, it's decently off the highs, it's failing to push lower, and if it's not doing what they want, they're just going to lock in their profits. Dip buyers are going to remember this play recently moving nicely. You're going to try to get it maybe for another move or whatnot, but just at least some buyers are just recognizing the momentum shift. So if there's going to be any abnormal demand, a perk in demand relative to the past few days, what it's doing, as you can see intraday, zoom in here, there was a bit of buying on Friday, but overall, as you can see, sellers took over, and then not much today. So if we get any volume that's able to sustain doing more than these numbers that we're seeing here, maybe something like this, but more consistent buying, that could possibly be an indication of it being the bounce day. And then from there, as we usually talk about, let it consolidate a few minutes, hold up, show you that it's not going to break down. For example, we'll use this. I know this wasn't the bounce day, it was fresh off of the parabolic move it had, but this is where we would want to wait. I know it had a little fake out here, but overall, you can see that it tried holding up. There's a little bit of buying going on, but it could not overdo the selling. It tried to break to new highs, had a fake out of 4 cents or so, or what was it? 2 cents, my bad. Getting stuffed at VWAP, so, and that led to this downward move. So if we have the opposite happening where it holds up, there's decent demand continually coming in, and it can break to new highs, start uptrending, holding VWAP, confirming that level, that could lead to a nice move higher. So I know something I always talk about, a little bit long of an explanation for one ticker, but that's the multi-day bounce, and it's going to be the same thing with ASTI as well. This is a recent mover. This one's out of the watch list from yesterday as well. So let's see if we got another play to set up here. We got that parabolic move. Now we're way off the highs. Volume really has faded, so it's going to be important to see the demand really come back, because without that, it's just going to be maybe a weak bounce, or it might not even happen at all. But here we are, trying to hold up. It made new lows after setting it in the 280s. All I got to was the 260s, and here we are holding up in the 270s, 280s. I think this is a good candidate for a multi-day bounce. It is well off of the highs. Shorts are up decently, I presume. I see some decent selling going on here, so probably a good amount, maybe in the 5s, the 6s. And there hasn't really been any bounce that I could see shorts really covering into. So on the similar to what I was talking about, HTCR or whatever it was, see a perk in demand, something relative to the past week or so that's different, that could lead to more eyes on it. And then from there, same thing, we'll wait for that high at daybreak. As long as it's below that high, I'm thinking shorts might still have the upper hand. So that's why it's ideal to wait and look for that confirmation of that high daybreak level. But yeah, not to get too deep into this one as well. Multi-day bounce here. Then we got AGL. This one was another call from yesterday's watch list. Didn't do exactly what I wanted, but I did mention a variation of what could happen where it might need to dip some more. It fails to break down. You get a weak volume dip, and shorts just can't take over. As you can see here, some selling came through, but it was very weak. So you got this little plunge, but then buyers started picking it up. And from there, it went from 80 cents to after hours 115 high or so, something like that. So this is going to be one to look for that area of 105 to 113 where there's some resistance here. So far, a triple top. But if we can fail to break down as it's doing so far, so we're going to really need to see demand come back, confirm the breakout level. That could lead to a move to the mid ones. Who knows how much further it could go. But if the demand is there, it really could go. I'm not even going to guess, but it'll likely do what I'm thinking. So it really just needs to confirm the ones. Here we got a solid triple top, and here we got a lot of volume. So this play will likely need a decent amount of volume to take off, to go through any bag holders and short sellers and whatnot. So I'm gonna keep an eye on the $1 area and the volume to really gauge if this play has some strength, and from there we're gonna focus on the trend. Is it holding VWAP? Is it holding the key area? And uptrending as well. So just trying to stack all the bullish indicators in our favor to simplify it. So as long as it's above 1, I'll be in favor of this. And then lastly, ENSV. We got a low volume breakout here so far. I'm thinking this could get to the 3 area, whole dollar, half dollar level. And if that can't hold it down, it could probably test the mid 3s, 340, 350 area. But what will be important for that to even be possible, as we usually talk about, the demand to really come back. So far, this is a breakout with no support really behind it. As you can see, it was a very slow mover till the volume really started picking up. Went from 240s to 270s. Holding up, it's uptrending, it's above VWAP. Everything's good so far. Just really need the demand to come back. So if we can confirm the 253 breakout, whole dollar, half dollar area, show us there's maybe a weak volume dip, there's not many sellers really pushing this thing lower, that could maybe trigger a move higher. So really focus on the demand. But so far, out of an MX stock, a low volume breakout, I'm going to be playing this very cautiously compared to the other plays, as these all could turn into pretty good moves, but ENSV, a little suspect of it. Another one to mention, I don't know if it will do it. It's been a long time waiting for this thing, but LASE, we had a solid move out of this thing here, and all it's been doing is fading. Having a hard time really timing out the multi-day bounce. And even instances like this, where you do get that high day break, sometimes it just doesn't work. And this is a great example of that, where there really wasn't that much demand, although it was a bit of a perk compared to what it was usually doing, relative to what it was doing. Couldn't really hold up and push even higher, so hasn't really had a bounce day yet. Shorts, I think, have been in control this whole time, even with small moves like this happening. But what I'm seeing here is the failure to really break down even lower. After a move like this, maybe more shorts start packing it, could head even lower. But all it does is go and a low of 262 to 256. So pretty much a fake out breakdown, just a very weak breakdown, and now it's coming back to the 280s. All I'm waiting for is a demand to really pick up on this thing, and then it does have some range, but I'm still going to stick to the data of expecting roughly 30% spike from the previous close out of this thing if it is going to move. But just it's showing me some indication that, hey, it might be trying to hold. It's holding a whole dollar, $half area. Another tightening of the lows, another small green day. It's really just the demand that we're really looking for it to come back. So that's why I don't have this one highlighted. I think it's much more of a waiting game compared to the other multi-day bounces. So yeah, kind of a long video going over the top plays, but kind of went over in depth the multi-day bounce and when I'm looking on AGLE, the importance of that $1 area and for it to confirm. You don't have to buy it at any cost. You don't have to get it just because it's breaking above. Let it show you that it's confirming, it's failing to break down. It starts having some consolidation for a little bit around or above one. Um, Maybe you get a nice spike, comes back, double bottoms. Whatever the case, just looking for some bottoming action around the $1 area. And that could lead to a solid move. So we'll just wrap this up. Hope everyone had a great start to their week. I didn't trade anything today. Woke up late, missed SONN, or I thought I did, and then it just ripped up way higher. I took my eye off of it within first half an hour here. We got this solid move, and I was considering, I saw this double bottom around the open price of 136, and the volume on the selling side really started fading. If it really wasn't for this 1 minute here with a lot of selling, it would have not even broken down that much. So got a double bottom, light selling coming through, and then once it was crossing back to VWAP, I was considering it, but I had woken up late, missed this, so I felt like I was just not in the right mindset. So I just ignored it. And then I come back an hour later, hour and a half later, wide awake, checking out the market, and I see this thing up in the 190s, and I'm like, whatever, that's a day. I decided not to even watch anything else. So it really has been that kind of market. I know there's some moves here. This isn't an empty list, but I'm trying to be picky, find plays that are to my pattern, I have data on them. I don't want to just waste money. This market isn't what it was a few years ago, so got to be more meticulous and preserve your money. So not many plays are coming by. Not that we're not getting any, but it's not we're getting a play every 5 minutes the way it used to be. So acknowledge that. Acknowledge what the overall markets are doing. That does have some influence on our plays. So when I see a monster move already happening, I'm not going to attack something else thinking it's going to do something similar. So I just stick on the sidelines. So I think I should just wrap this up. Hope everyone had a great one. We'll catch you all later. Bye-bye.